Part 4 of Children of Alcoholics in the Classroom, Professional Development Presentation by Dr. Ann Roberts at Radford University.
People can take on more than one role at the same time, or it could change over time. Okay? That's not as, you would not see it as much in your 1 year snapshot of a child. But they can do that. Now, I'll let you all know, I'm a child of an alcoholic. Do you know what role I had?
Class.
I want to say you were Brian.
Say again?
A Brian.
A Brian? Well, you think that, but actually I'm the only one in my family who flunked out. I have like high achiever. I flunked out of college. I had F's in high school. So nope, that wasn't my role.
That's not the vibe I get from you at all.
I know, isn't that cool?
You're so educated now.
I know, isn't that crazy? I'm waiting for the dissertation police to come and go, we're just kidding, give it back. But I haven't come back, so I'm still here.
You were the bad one.
You would think that, but actually I was straight and extremely religious. I had some really wild sisters and brothers, I'm going to tell you. They were all into drugs and alcohol. I was the only one going, well, good luck, please don't crash the car.
So you took like multiple roles.
I had two roles, and you were right, the clown was one. The clown I developed later.
So at first you were passive.
I was the lost child. I hated people, always with animals, stayed away from everybody. But as soon as I started getting into acting roles and singing, I started learning the performance. Probably that's why I'm a teacher. I got the performance role. Ta-da! So anyhow. So what I want you to understand is, even as adults, you are going to see some of these roles as colleagues, other co-workers, boyfriends or girlfriends of your children, neighbors. So what you need to understand is this. We who are children of alcoholics, one thing it helps is if you can help us connect with as kids or adults, connect with our emotions a little bit. And just recognize that we've developed these roles and that it's hard to kind of transition. So, when you're from a family, I learned this dance growing up in my family. Here's the dance. You had no needs in my family because my mom couldn't fill those needs because she was out of commission because of alcohol. So I had to be very self-reliant, and I had to learn this dance. The dance I learned was to have this comedic role, but I didn't let anybody get close to me. I didn't trust people because I didn't understand the connection of people. This dance worked perfectly in my family of origin, in my family. But then I grew up. So now I'm an adult, and I've got this great personality, and people want to invite me out to parties and stuff, and I keep going, no, I'm very busy, I'm very busy, because I still have the issue of not being really, really safe and comfortable with people. And so it wasn't until I started learning things about how to deal with this I learned to embellish my dance and make it a little different. I can dance with other people too. I don't have to do my family's dance. But so if you know of somebody, the best gift you can give them is knowledge about what does it mean to be in a family with that dynamic. That's all it is. And knowledge can help you. I can remember reading some of the books I'm going to show you. And again, I'm giving you this because you can be an advocate for some friends that you might have. And say, hey, like your friend, this was cool. Look what I learned. I don't know if this fits you or not, but isn't this interesting? When a person who comes from that family dynamic and sees someone like, man, this is like my family. How did they know this? Gosh, it's not just my family. You kind of learn stuff, and it's really, really kind of cool. And so I'm not asking you, the reason why I'm giving you this information is this. I am not advocating that if you find out you have kids in your classroom who are children of addicts or alcoholics or some other addiction or severe emotionality or whatever, I don't want you to necessarily be counselors, but you can provide a supportive, caring environment. You might help them learn to acknowledge some feelings or two, but not to get to deep, dark things, but they're in your classroom. And you can be supportive and give them stability and boundaries. That's the best gift you can give a kid, especially when their family life is chaotic. That's why a lot of kids love coming to school, because there is something predictable here. So to you to be a predictable teacher is very, very helpful. But the best gift if you have adult friends who are in this situation is just to get some education. I personally did it growing up with talking to a counselor. And all of a sudden, things, I was like, well, no wonder that's how the family was. That was fabulous. And once you have awareness of something, you have choice on what you want to do about it. You know? So, does this make sense? Is this helpful? Is this making you think a little bit of your future classroom? Well, anyway, here's some handouts for you. In similar situations to this. Just from talking about this to a lot of my classes and others, it just happens that, you end up learning to be a caretaker a lot of times when you come from a family where there's kind of a dysfunction. Kids are survivors. Kids are resilient. And I guess what I want you to understand is that they don't need pity. They don't need to feel like they're less than. All it is a different dance. And how you can increase their repertoire of dances is to be firm and bounded, like good boundaries, a caring, listening adult, and to make sure that the needs of the hero child is not to always be in charge, to give boundaries to the scapegoat, but also acknowledge all their strengths. Because every kid, even when they give you a hard time, have strengths. They'll stick up for the youngest, the kid who gets picked on, but maybe they do it in a really bad way, Make sure that the lost child gets attention, and make sure that the mascot, the clown, that you make sure that she gets taken seriously when she is. Okay? Any more questions? I hope this is something about you. So thank you for coming. And I'll sign any of those if you want that to be legitimized. I think she
It is stamped, yeah.
Yes, okay. All right.